Welcome to the 7 Cents Podcast, where we go beyond dollars and cents to unlock the mindset beyond the money.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Mike Macklin, aka Money Mike, the financial Thanos, because I'm snapping my fingers and I'm turning your financial problems to dust.
And I'm Coach R.L, your money mindset coach. Mind right, money right, legacy locked in.
Guys, this is not your average financial podcast. We're breaking down money myths, mindset traps, and economic game plans.
We keep it real, raw, and relevant, from micro money moves to macro financial shifts.
This is a 7 Cents podcast where your mind meets your money. What is up, everybody? It's your boy Mike Macklin, aka Money Mike, the financial Thanos, because I'm snapping my fingers and I'm turning your financial problems to dust. Guys, I would like to welcome you all to another episode of the greatest podcast ever created, the 7 Cents Podcast. And of course, I got my co-host here, the homie Rob Simmons, aka the Money Goat. But today is going to be a banger. And because of how much of a banger this is going to be, we actually had to bring somebody else onto the show to help us out with this, because when I tell you guys that the heat level is about to be crazy, we needed some help on this one. So we have the esteemed pleasure of having Miss Yaz Franco to join us today to talk about our topic that we're going to talk about today. Yaz is a successful entrepreneur, also a financial mentor as well. And we thought it would be a great time to get somebody in here to help us a little bit, because me and Rob been going hard, and we want somebody else to take some of this blame too when it comes to some of the things we talk about. We brought Yaz here. So without any further ado, Yaz, let them know what we about to talk about today.
Hey, thank you so much, Mike. I really appreciate that introduction. Again, thank you guys so much for having me. It's such an honor to be here. I'm super excited because this topic is one that touches a lot of nerves. So I'm ready to stir the pot. Y'all know I'm messy. But I want to talk about, I'm going to just go ahead and jump right in. All right. I want to talk about the elephant in the room. I think that right now the topic has been thrown around so much in social media about boys versus girls, men versus women, gender roles, and all of that. And it's still so funny how society still finds it uncomfortable when women make substantial amounts of money, or if they make more money than their counterpart. So I just kind of want to go ahead and ask a question. If a woman makes more money than a man, does that automatically bruise the ego, or does it just expose the insecure men? And that's my question to you guys. Is that just something that happens just automatically? Or
I'm going to take this one, Mike.
Yeah, Rob, get in there.
Froze.
Yeah, I'm going to take this one because we was really froze. I'm like, ooh, does it bruise the ego? I can't speak for all men, but I'm going to say hell yeah. Yes. But also I am a product of a single mother. And so it is a comfortable suit for me that I've probably worn for a very long time. And in the awkwardness of mama's boyish, the way I've grown up is all of my mentors have actually been, not all of them, but I have a lot of women mentors, meaning that these women already make more money than me. But that is a part of my experience. But my culture is different. And as a man, when a peer does make more money than me, am I initially fazed by it? Absolutely. Until I analyze who this person actually is, what they bring to the table, and why they make more money than me. I think that's important to investigate too. But I don't speak for all men, but the initial answer is yes, that kind of cut deep. Like, how is she getting what is she doing that she's getting to the bag like that?
Okay, so I'll jump in and give my answer here, because it's kind of a blended answer. I feel like in the reality, like telling the candid truth, I feel like that most men have a problem with that. It touches a nerve deep in them. I don't know if it's like a expectation thing. Like they feel like when this person reaches that level, certain dynamics may change. But I think what the important thing is to do, and we talked about this in another episode, is about understanding who you are. And realistically, something I thought about just now as I was formulating my thought to answer this question: what you eat don't make me shit. And what that means is, just because that person is doing really well or whatever, it has no impact on me. Okay, I'm still the financial Thanos. I'm still Money Mike. I'm still a person. Okay, but just because you're doing better than me does not diminish anything about me. If anything, this is a valuable lesson I was taught in my coming up, is that you should thrive to get around people that's doing better than you. This is how you grow. If you continue to be around people who aren't doing better than you, then you will never grow, because you never see a bigger perspective. You never, your mind never goes outside of a bigger pool than that current spectrum that it's in. So to bluntly answer the question, yes, it does affect most men, but it should not. And I hope that this episode will kind of help us to widen our gaze and kind of start to understand why this shouldn't be the problem that it is.
Yeah, 100%. I even say this, and I probably should have said this in my initial thought, because the initial thought of a man is, let's say we on the same playing field, is that her, I don't even know how to frame it, but her sex appeal or her being a opposite sex has something to do with whatever it is, the promotion, or she has something that I don't have, that I will never have, and that's why she has more than me. But that's kind of how a lot of men see it. But the fact of the matter is, she does have something that you don't have, and got to deal with it. So let's kind of look at it from this perspective though, right? So let's talk about like that even playing field. A lot of times you have men who are working in the same field, the playing field, as a woman. And when a man generally gets a promotion like that, let's call it a promotion, whatever it is, the man gets a promotion, everybody says, hey, you did a good job. When a woman does it, there's stipulations to why it happened. Yes, why do you think people have such a negative outlook on when women level up?
I think it's just been, that comes from just like how women have been marketed for so long. We were always men. There was a while where women couldn't even work, right? So whatever was put out there by men of that time. And so that was the image that we were held to, whatever that image was. And so when we started getting into the workforce and we started producing, I think it took most men by surprise. Like, they didn't expect us to be hard work. It happened to me in the military all the time. Like, I would show up and they see a 5'4", I was super small, tiny soldier, and I'd be like, all right, let's, what's up? And they would expect me, a lot of times when I would get attached to mostly male units, they wouldn't expect me to be such a hard worker. And they were, oh, you work for real. You do this for real. I'm like, what'd you expect? And they were like, I thought you were just gonna be one of those girls. And I'm like, what's one of those girls? So it's whatever. If you don't fit in the box, again, like the wires crossed, there's no connection, it's not fathomable. And yeah, there's always, then it comes from, if she's weaker, she's the weaker sex or whatever, then how can she do what I do as good, if not better than I can? And so there has to be another reason outside of just what we both do that got her that promotion. And I think that's a lot of it. Unfortunately, the way that some men are brought up, if it's completely the same, right? Like, it's controlled and both of us are doing the same thing, she has to have some sort of catalyst in order for her to be at my level, because there's no way a girl that looks like her, a girl that, that's a girl and I'm a man and we do the exact same thing and she still outperforms me. That's not possible. The ego can't accept that. And so you guys start looking for, not you guys, but you know what I'm saying? Men start looking for outside reasons as to why that's the case. And story of my life. I mean, yeah.
No, that's really good. That's really good. So on an even playing field, why are women judged so negatively in the workplace? Or it ain't even got to just be the workplace, because even in entrepreneur, me and Yaz working in the same thing, same financial field, and she gets to the bag, everybody's looking like she did something to get to the bag. I ain't gonna say everybody. Men are looking to her like, what is she doing that I'm not doing that let her get to the bag? More than likely, it's probably, maybe it's her sex appeal or whatever it is. Why do we have that negative connotation on women leveling up?
Honestly, the first thought that came to my mind when I really played back that question again in my head is the crab in the bucket syndrome. Most people, and I've experienced this in my life, and not to make this take away from the gender roles of this or anything like that, but what I've experienced a lot of times is your friends, family, whoever, they want to see you do well, but not better than them. And that, it comes back to that crab in the bucket syndrome, is when they start to see someone rise above them, their first instinct is to pull them back down. Some of it may be good spirited, and I don't want to lose my friend. I don't want this person to outgrow me, whatever. But a lot of it, I think it boils down to the ego. It's okay. Hey, and Rob touched on a lot of this when he was just asking the question. Is okay. Your ego's okay. Well, what is this person doing that's propelling them higher than me? How are they doing this? What's happening? And to Yaz's point, a lot of people look at young ladies in a certain light because of, again, a lot of it is programming. And that's the reality of it. A lot of it is programming. Everybody aims to put people into boxes. Like you have to be this and you have to be that. And what the reality is nobody really has a say so on that except for God. You know what I'm saying? God tells you who you are, and it's your job to basically get out there and to fulfill the vision that God had for you. And I think I talked about this in the episode when me and Rob was talking about how disrespectful to God that is when you start, comparing yourself to somebody else or wishing you had what somebody else had or something like that, because God made you who you are. He said, look, this is who you gonna be. And that was his plan for you. Your job is to go out there and make that happen. It's not to go out and compare yourself to anybody else. If anything, seeing somebody else should propel you to a higher level as well. It should motivate you to say, okay, hey, listen, there's somebody out here who I didn't expect to do so well, doing well. I should, aspire, to level myself up so that, again, we still on equal playing field. I'm not mad at you for being over me. I'm just saying to myself, okay, hey, listen, clearly I need to improve some more so that I can get to that level so that I can become better. And it has nothing to do with the other person. It's just, again, it's a personal motivation. When you see people doing things that you thought previously not possible, that should actually inspire you and say, hey, listen, if somebody that I thought couldn't even do this got to this level, then that gives me hope that I can also do this because, hey, look, I don't think anybody out here is any better than anybody else in my reality. I think we are all the same. We have different perspectives. We have different ways we go about things, but I think we're all the same and we have the same level of potential. And so it is our job to find within ourselves the motivation and the things to do to reach that potential that has already been pretty much put in us before we even got here. So yeah, that's how that really should work out, in my opinion, in my thoughts.
Let me cook, because I said something. It was a setup. I'm coming back with the setup. What if the reality is, women, she is better than you, and those things that she has, those qualities that she has that you'll never have, actually exist? And I'm gonna tell you, that is to me really is the truth, right? Women are just better visionaries. They mature more faster. They're more organized. These things do exist, and they have certain skill sets, especially depending on what career field it is, just to succeed better in a career field than you can. Because for so long that we have stopped them from infiltrating into these workspaces, and then you see them take it over and they're trying to figure out it's just because she's sexy. No, it's because she already had a vision for this and you can't think past Tuesday. Like, that is just the nature of the beast. To be honest, fuck it. This is my shit. I would say, let me fix myself. Nah, this is my shit. So if you're really smart, if you are a man really smart, A, get you a woman, but B, as you're building your team, there's certain skills that women just innately have that you should be placing them in your team to do those things. Mike said, if your ego isn't overwhelmingly huge, you would use their gifts to your advantage. Not to say that you're using them, but they have gifts that are complete blind spots to men. And that's why they succeed. And when you can't see that, then you ask all of those questions without being able to see the actual truth. And that is in knowing yourself. Like, when you know who you are and you know who you are, like, in this dimension, then you see people for who they are and you see nature for who it is. You see DNA for what it is, and then you act accordingly. But if you go surface level and then you only see a woman as a woman and women can only do certain things, then you essentially are just handicapping yourself. At the end of the day, you're handicapping yourself. So let's talk about it, like, from just kind of segueing into a different segment. Let's talk about it from like a dating perspective. I haven't went on a date in a long time with the same person. I've been going on a date for a while. But outside of that, the search is a little bit different, right? Why are men intimidated by women who make more money? Why do you believe that is? And do you see that that exists? I'm past that to Yaz.
Okay. Why do I think that men are intimidated by women that have more money? Because the need for them is limited. And what I mean by that is when a man is looking to find something, like guys just need to, men need to feel needed and necessary. Right? Because if a woman can do it all for herself, what am I here for? It's the need. And I feel like a lot of the times, because of just society just saying you need to be the provider, you need to be the provider. If a woman can provide for herself, a man kind of, okay, then what am I here for? And it messes with them. So she can pack up and leave whenever. She can't stay with me. The idea of a woman being self-sufficient without them is very intimidating, because then it forces him to step up in other areas where he may not feel that strong, because his whole life he's been told that he needs to be a provider. So a man is, I don't know how, I was told to be a provider. I wasn't told to be emotionally intelligent. I was told to be a provider. I don't know how to freaking change a tire on a car. Like, I was told to be a provider. I could pay somebody to come do your oil check. I don't know how to do that myself. You know what I'm saying? So it just turns into everything came and surrounded itself around like what men can provide. But when a woman takes that away from a man, it can be, I can see how it can be intimidating. Right. And so I think that that's one of the major reasons why I feel like men are intimidated by a woman that makes more money.
Yeah.
Like, that's my theory.
100%. And I'll be candid. I can change a tire and I can change oil. I'm not going to though.
I feel that.
I'm not going to. My tire went out. Hey, I'm about to call AAA in 15 minutes because it's
Just right
2025,
there.
baby girl. Yeah. You're going to get there faster than I can. Mike, what do you think?
I'm going to say this. I'll come at it from a different perspective. I'll say that the intimidation factor comes in when it's introduced. Sometimes young ladies that are super successful, they feel a need to rub that in your face, or they feel a need to like, okay, assert a certain level of dominance. Like certain young ladies like feel the need to, they got to prove themselves to a man. So they have to flex their power. They have to flex, what they have. And for some men, I don't know if it's necessarily intimidating, but it may be off-putting. It's okay. I'm not here to be in somebody who's in competition with me. I'm here to be with somebody who wants to work together with me. Now, to kind of caveat on Yaz's point, as far as some men feel that something was taken away from them when a young lady says, okay, listen, I already got myself together. I do see that because, again, that's kind of the norm for a man, is looked at as somebody who's supposed to be that person who, I mean, this is historically speaking, like this is genetically speaking, historically speaking. At the beginning of time, men were the ones who went out and, hunted for the food. So he was expected to go out and bring something home so that the family could eat. And that continued on into, it evolved, and it may look different, but it's still kind of the same goal. And I forget who the philosopher was or whatever, but that's one of the things that identifies a person. A person always needs something, someone to love, something to hope for, and something to do. And if all those things are taken away from him, then it's okay. He feels, okay, I no longer have any value, because it's okay. Everything that I was supposed to bring is already kind of there. Okay, what am I supposed to do? So I think personally, just the mindset, what's been put out there is normal. And then sometimes, like I said, the actions on the side of young ladies, sometimes they want to flex that muscle. Okay, yeah, you can't do nothing for me. That can be off-putting. So I think that's where the intimidation factor may come in, is when that muscle gets flexed to them. And it's now you're being challenged instead of saying, okay, hey, let's work together. So that's why I think the intimidation factor comes in.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to think if this is going to be one point. Don't lie to the people, Robert. I'm gonna try to make this 1 point. And Yazzie kind of hit the nail on the head. What happens in this intimidation factor is that men now have to, they're just out here naked, basically. Like, now you have to face who you really are. And they're not really willing to do that. And then in the case of the successful woman, and I would just say in their search, and then the man who is not afraid of the successful woman, the one thing that this actually comes down to is now you actually have to love somebody, right? Like you actually have to love this person wholeheartedly for who they is. They don't need nothing from you. You don't need anything from them. And it's really hard to know that all you got is love. And man, I don't have no leverage. That's because you don't know who you are. That's what it comes down to. Yeah, I'm gonna pivot off of that because I cook on that for 35 minutes, but that's what it comes down to. Hey, now I have this person and I don't have leverage. Now what? But now, if you know who you are, realistically, it ain't about anything that she has or you has. It's about, do I care for this person? Are they good in conversation? Are they interested in some of the same things that I am? Does this person complement my life? Like those things then are like at the forefront of what you got to deal with when this woman don't need nothing from you. Maybe she does need that conversation. Maybe she does need somebody who needs to hear about her 16-hour days if that's what she does. Hopefully it's only 2-hour days based off of some conversations we had. But that's kind of really what it comes down to. So let's talk a little bit about
Can I say something? Because Mike said
yeah.
something and I want to just touch on it real quick. Just something real. Because I think, when you said that women like to just flaunt it or throw it in a man's face, rub it in a man's face about like making more money. Sometimes it may be that. But sometimes it's more of a, hey, I'm not here for your money. I make my own. Because there's the whole stigma of the gold digger, right? Like the gold digger stigma of a woman wants a man with more money, and then guys kind of lead conversations with my ex, she used me like this, she used me like that. So a woman sometimes feels the need to comfort him and be like, hey, I'm not here for your money. I actually make, whatever. Or they may not even say that, man, I'm not here for the money. But sometimes, guys will be like, yeah, and then you got to kind of flex a little bit. But it's only just to let them know that's not what I'm here for. I'm okay. And so I think it's like a catch-22 almost when it comes to making your own money, because it's like you don't want to make too much money that you're intimidating, but you don't want to make not enough to where they think you're a gold digger. You know what I'm saying? But I just find it, I wanted to kind of tap on that because I think that kind of gets looked over a lot. No, a lot of people just don't understand like the way that it's talked about, like money equals and then the whole masculinity thing. Money equals finances equals masculinity. No, money is just money, and then it just amplifies whatever you are already, anyways. But I just wanted to kind of drop that in there because I think it gets looked over a lot, and I don't think it's so much flexing as sometimes it comes from a place of, hey, that's not what I'm here for. I'm okay. I don't need you for that type deal.
Oh, that's
Makes
good.
sense.
But Money Making Mitch said, I'm broke, baby. I'm approaching everybody like that. I'm broke. We'll figure it out from here. I'm broke. Hey, men are expected to increase their standards with money, and while women are told to lower their standards, right? Like, how do you see this playing out? Don't grow past me.
First off, I think that's the stupidest thing ever. Like, that's crazy. Why? And I'm not saying that because I'm like, trying to downplay a man or anything like that, but we've had this conversation before, Rob. I'm not a huge emotional person. I'm a logical person. And that just doesn't make logical sense. Like, why would I say, okay, hey, partner in life, I want you to perform below your level just to make me feel good? That's just stupid. First off, that's dumb. But to actually answer the question again, I'm probably going to say this a lot of times, but it just boils down to a person's ego, like a person's inability to accept the fact that there's somebody out there in the world that can do better at something than they can. Now, as a man elevates, the only thing he should be looking for is higher things. He shouldn't be looking for lower things. That doesn't help you elevate. Again, to look for somebody to perform lesser, that's not helping you as a man. You know what I'm saying? Because again, let me not even make it like I will make it as a man because the question was asked basically from a male standpoint. Why is that a thing? I just feel like it doesn't make any logical sense to do that. It just doesn't, because the better that your teammate is, the better the team operates. You know what I'm saying? So if you're doing really well or even better than me, that just means that the team collectively is going to do better because, okay, we have access to more resources. We have access to, more skill sets. We can go even further now because both people on the team are playing at a high level. You know what I'm saying? So to answer that question is, I guess the real answer is just stupidity. Like, you're just being dumb because, again, there's no reason to feel some kind of way just because somebody's doing better. And you shouldn't expect them to do worse. To me, and this is the last thing I'm going to say about that, to me, is very disrespectful to that person to expect them to perform lower. It's almost like you telling that person, I don't really like you, because it's like, all right, just because, you know, you do something better than them, so what? That doesn't change who that person is. That's still supposed to be your person. You know what I mean? So it's like, all right, I didn't get with you because of, you know, how well you're doing financially or whatever. I got with you because I like you as a person. And, you know, that's what we should be looking at when we're looking for a teammate in life is, okay, do you like this person? You know, too many people, I hate to segue off of this, but like Rob said, y'all let me cook for a minute. Too many people, they're looking at navigating through life from the wrong perspective. They're looking at somebody, especially men, you're just looking for a pretty face. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to somebody who can propel you to that next level. Because when you find the right person who is going to push you, that's going to challenge you, that's going to, you know, say, hey, look, you got to do better because, you know, I'm already up here. I need you to come up here and meet me. You know what I'm saying? Then that's a good thing. That's what you should be looking for. And it goes back to how I answered that question earlier about, you know, you basically widening that spectrum of gaze or whatever. You have to be willing to up your level and not to diminish somebody else. If I got to step over you to get to the top, that means I got to deal with you when you come up there again. You know, so all those people that you stepped over to get to the top, you got to deal with them when you come down. So it's best to, you know what I'm saying, try to bring everybody up with you. Or if they're already there, it's okay, hey, step your game up and get up there with them.
Do you think that men have this preconceived notion that gender roles change when their partner makes more?
That's an interesting one. Do they think that gender roles change when the partner makes more? Man, that is really a rough one.
Well,
that is really I feel like maybe.
Let me tell you why I thought about this though, real quick.
Okay.
What it is was you were talking about how you wouldn't feel intimidated that your partner would make more, or you know, essentially if it's all coming out of a one pot. But do you feel like maybe outside of your relationship that a man would perceive this, even in approaching a woman who makes more, would they perceive going into a relationship with reverse gender roles?
Okay, I actually absolutely know how to answer this question now. And that would be an astounding no, because again, that now says that you are basically saying that you are going to change who you are. And I'm speaking as myself. I'm not going to change who I am just because of whoever I'm introducing myself to, because I want you to know who I am. Okay. And I want you to make an informed decision of whether or not you want to deal with me. So I'm going to give you the real me. I'm going to give you my beliefs. I'm going to give you my dreams. I'm going to give you like everything and let you make the decision on, okay, hey, listen, based on who I am and who now you have told me who you are, is this going to be a fit? And if not, okay, cool. Yeah, my ultimate answer is no. You should not change your gender roles, your expectations, and none of that just because somebody's doing better than you. Because again, going back to my other statement, what they eat don't make me shit. You know what I'm saying? So who they are don't determine who I am. So good, bad, or indifferent, however that person is, I'm going to remain the same person I am. Ain't nothing going to change other than, you know, say, okay, maybe the bank balance might get a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? But okay, but that's not going to change who I am. So no, I don't think the gender roles or any of that should change unless a conversation's had and y'all decide that. But I don't think, again, speaking for me, nothing about what I'm coming into this with is going to change just because of what you're doing. It's okay, this is how I would like things to go. And that's what a partnership is. You introduce what you want to have happen. If that person agrees, then that's a partnership. If they don't agree, then okay, I'm not angry with you. It's like, all right, you don't want to do that. Okay, you have that right. You have, you know, again, you have to make a choice. So if you don't want to do that, then okay, we're not going to be together. And I'm not mad at you about it. We just not gonna be together.
No, that's good. I just feel it's funny because, like you said, it is a partnership. I'm just trying to put myself in somebody else's shoes where they wife walk in, hey, I just got this promotion. I'm about to be working to 6. You're going to have to cook and pick up the kids. And they like, whoa, wait a minute. What just happened? But at the end of the day, in a partnership, some people, I mean, do have defined gender roles in their relationships, but that just sparked my interest of, hey, was she like, hey, man, I just, baby, why are you taking out the
She gonna come in
trash?
the house
Hold
and
on,
talk
wait
about,
a
I don't
minute.
smell no dinner cooking.
Man, baby.
I don't smell no dinner cooking. It's crazy.
No, I was working late. Man,
Right.
baby.
I just got promoted. You need to get in there
now,
cook some
baby.
That actually, what you guys are saying right now is proving the point that I was going to talk about.
Oh no.
Yeah, what is this?
They're proving the point.
Just sitting here.
Oh,
Oh man.
that
Ooh,
was good.
My
That was
gosh,
good.
that was
I
funny.
needed that. I need that. Yes, all right. I'm gonna pass it to you. All right. We're gonna start off with that initial question. Why are women allowed to grow but not outgrow?
So honestly, I think it has a lot to do with the ego. And again, with how men identify finances, masculinity, and it kind of like merges, right? So men identify masculinity and finance like they go together, right? And so if she earns more, all of a sudden I'm less than because she earns more. Now she's gonna come home and expect my dinner being made, or you know what I'm saying? Like all of the things, like it's gonna affect, which is false. That's the falsest thing ever. Because if a woman really loves you guys, and most of us knows, if a woman cares about you, she don't care that she works. She wants to take care of you. It's just in our nature to nurture in that capacity. So I don't think that has anything to do with it logically, but the way that y'all's brains are wired is, oh my God, she makes more money than me. Now I'm a girl. No, it doesn't. That's not how that works.
Damn it,
It's
I might have to
more
go get a
so,
skirt.
let me go get my skirt on. Like, what? It's less identifying masculinity for what it is, right? It's leadership, it's vision, it's direction. It's not just money. And then another part of that is the being a false narrative when people get in a relationship. And what I mean by that is individuality, especially with social media, individuality is glorified. That the whole, what do you mean when I get with someone and I come into this union, we got to put all our money in the same pot? Nah, I'm gonna keep my money, she keep her money. We could just make a list and she pays this and I pay, you know what I'm saying? And it kind of, and because if you were truly a union, if you truly believe that you guys were in a partnership and you guys were one, then her making more money is not even a factor, because it's not, she's not making more money, we're making more money. It's not a, she's working harder, we're working harder. It's not, it's just what it is. I think that a lot of that is a false narrative. And so the glorification of individuality, because nobody wants to look dumb or whatever the case may be, because they don't want their partner to hurt their, do partnership and make them look stupid in front of God and everybody. Like, they're worried too much about the outside instead of worrying about what's inside the four walls of their homes. And yeah, I think that that's why women are expected to kind of just don't do too much. Like, you can do, I support you. Be independent, be your independent woman, da da da. I support you in that. Just don't go past what I make. Make just enough, And it has a lot to do with tying masculinity into all of that. What makes you a man, I guess, in all of that. So that's my answer.
I'm not gonna lie. I ain't gonna say I like cleaning, but I'm a Crock-Pot champion too. So
I love a good crock-pot meal. Listen.
yeah. But that's being in a partnership is very challenging to the human mind. And I'm just speaking from my experience. Very challenging to the human mind, because what it does is it removes a lot of icebergs that are built into your culture. And in removing those icebergs, you honestly have to then, like outside of your partnership, when people see it, you have to then basically fight against the cultures. It's kind of like the same way you're saying, hey, in a Latino community, like you're taught to work hard. But it's the same way when you not taking out the trash and you are, why are you folding the clothes? What do you mean? It's my house and half these clothes is mine. So but you have to, like, outside of it, I would just say, like, in our relationship, with when everybody sees, like, my wife is on vacation, they like, you got all the kids? I ain't got no damn babysitter. Yes, I have all my kids. And I watch all my kids, and people just find it weird, but like, but you're him though. Yeah, I am him. I am him and I watch my kids. Him should watch him kids. So him should watch him kids. It's part of being a good dad. But those are some of the
That part.
things that you have to fight through in a partnership. Is you do have to fight the outside noise. But I mean, the biggest thing is not listen to it. But if you
Exactly.
are comfortable with who you are, then it's not even not listening to them. It's actually educating them. Like I just said, yeah, absolutely. We talk about it. Something that we talked about in the last segment. Excuse me, not in that last segment, but one of the other episodes is that sometimes you have to have self-care and you have to have a plan. And part of that plan, self-care built in is, hey, you be a mom for 3 weeks and then cut your brain off for a week and go take a vacation. And then I'll take a break. For me, taking a break is spending time with my family, right? Like we have to plug and play with those things. But again, it all comes down to understanding who you are, ignoring the outside world, and then educating them, because I feel like we're doing something right. But the thing it is that it looks like really weird to the outside world. But I mean, I think the outside world hasn't figured out that they got it wrong. But that's that's kind of what it comes down to.
That part.
Yeah. Let me see, because there's a couple other things on here that I like are whole other episodes, to be honest with you. I think we definitely have to do a
Can
part
I
2.
ask a question?
You can ask me anything you want, young lady. I probably should say that way,
Okay, so
huh?
just to caveat off of the whole like him needs to take care of him kids. And it's more,
Let's
it's
do
not
it.
so much a question, more so than what I had to deal with. I co-parent with both the fathers of my kids, but my ex-husband and my ex-fiance. And my ex-fiance and I, from the beginning, from the moment that we always said, okay, if we have kids and God forbid it doesn't work out, you know, we're going to co-parent. She's going to live with you. She's going to live with me type deal. So this time she's going into middle school. She's 6th grade. So she's going into middle school, or she's just started middle school. And she moved in with her dad. Like that, it was his turn to have her full time. And, you know, and it's so funny because when I tell people, everybody asks me what happened. And oh my gosh, what happened? What do you mean she moved? Like, how did you lose custody? It's basically what they want to ask,
Yeah.
but they don't want to
Yeah.
ask, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, nothing happens. We're still good. Like, it's just his turn. And they're like, and he took her just like that. Like, they're so surprised that men want to be dads. Like, it's so far removed from the norm, and that's so sad. Just like how unfortunately like society doesn't prepare men to be cheerleaders for women. When a
That's
man's happiness is determined by what he can show, right? Look at my house, look at my car, look at my family, you know what I'm saying? Bam. But a woman's worth is determined by how happy the people around her are. Her kids are happy, she's a good mom. Her husband's happy, she's a good wife, right? It has nothing to do with her and what she achieves. It has everything to do with how she cheers for everybody else, how she nurtures and puts everybody else into position to kind of be themselves. But a man isn't necessarily, his worth doesn't come from that. It comes from what he provides. And so I think that a lot of the times we don't prepare men, even as young boys, like we don't prepare them to say, hey, it's okay for a woman, for you to cheer for her. That's perfectly fine. That's normal. That doesn't make you less of a man. And I think that's more so not a question, but just kind of, I guess, a caveat
Yeah, no, that
about
was
it.
bars. That was good. Damn, and that gave me really a different perspective and outlook of women, because I never really thought about it like that. Like women aren't cheered and revered for who they are; they're cheered and revered for the happiness of the people around them. And damn, that struck a chord. That was good. That was good. Hey, so I really want to thank y'all for a very fruitful conversation. We are definitely going to have to do this again, probably a part 2 and 3 to this. But definitely, folks that are watching on YouTube, I really want you to drop a comment, question, and tell me how you feel about some of the topics that we talked about in this conversation. And if you liked it, if you hated it, if you got a hot take, I know I heard a couple hot takes today, and I was like, yeah, this is about to be a good one. This is going to ruffle some feathers. So if it ruffle your feathers, definitely a comment. Let me know what you think. Truly appreciate it. Yes, truly thank you for blessing us with your time and presence. I think I can't say it enough. We truly appreciate you.
No,
Absolutely.
thank you guys so much for having me. I really do appreciate it. I just, I'm honored to be here, and I love watching y'all's clips because I'd be like, "Oh, that's
Like,
good." I can't wait to be somebody's. "Oh, that's good."
yeah, yeah.
Oh, you
I
got plenty
love
of
it. That's
bars you
good.
dropped. Yeah.
We gonna have some ones for you. And I think one of the things is when me and Mike kind of work on topics, it's like, all right, is this gonna make somebody clutch their pearls? Because like I need a clutch the pearl type of topic. You know what I mean? Before we get out of here though, I want to ask Mike, is there anything that you are working on that you want the people to know about?
Right now, we're kind of just locking in mainly on the 60-day financial reset. This is just all about challenging. And I'm glad we had this conversation here today about, challenging norms and challenging things, because that's what the 60-day financial reset is all about, is we have to start challenging these norms of traditional finance and what is being told of what we should be doing with our money and how that should be working out. So the 60-day financial reset is all about, first structuring your mindset to put you on a level of thinking success instead of thinking failure with your finances. And then once we get you thinking about success, then we're going to show you the exact steps to do that. We'll go ahead and drop the link to actually my free starter kit, where we'll kind of get you, a little bit of appetizer before we give you the main meal. But we'll put that link in the description. You can download that starter kit. And when you're ready to start working with me, we'll put together a free initial consultation, figure out if we're a good fit for one another, and we will put you in position to, in 60 days, be on the right side of the money.
How about you, Yaz? You got anything you're working on?
Honestly, I've been on this whole kick with the wall of wealth coming up and women inheriting most of the money coming in. I'm big on representation, so I'm actually trying to help 100 women get licensed in the financial industry. We make less than 20% of license, and that's CFPs, that's financial advisors. Like there's not enough women, but women are going to be inheriting most of the money in the next 7 to 10 years. And so I'm big on representation. If anybody's looking or interested in that, they can, reach me at my Instagram at it's Yaz Franco, or my TikTok at it's Yaz Franco if you guys want more information on that. But I'm really on a mission to get as many women licensed as possible and helping them through that journey.
No, that's dope. That's dope. Thank you for sharing. I was just telling, I be wanting to host myself. I'd be like, Robert, you're last but not least. But dude, you're in the mic already. Keep talk. But yeah, what I'm working on a few things right now. I have a curriculum for 18 to 22-year-olds. It's called The Richest Generation. The Richest Generation, the Gen Z, they have so many financial tools and resources at their disposal that they don't know about. But the younger you start them, the better off they are. The group is comprised right now of my two, I'm going to call them adolescents, but my young adults, my 17-year-old and my 19-year-old, then one of their friends, and then my first 19-year-old client, all in a small group. And I'm teaching them how to build towards wealth at a young age. Also, I have a free giveaway, and I want to ensure that everybody has this. So if you go to yourmoneygo.com/wealth, I have a free guide. It's a 7-minute read, and it gives you 25 actionable tasks of what you can do right now to change your mind, change your money, and change your life. So again, yourmoneygo.com/wealth, and get that free 7-minute guide. Thank you, everybody. We definitely got to do this again. And I love the controversy and the hot takes for sure.
Oh, yeah.
So till next time, 7 Cents, we are out. You just tapped into the 7 Cents, where the mind meets the money and the legacy gets built.
It's your boy Money Mike, the financial Thanos, snapping one myth at a time and leaving no financial lies standing.
And I'm Coach R.L, mind right, money right, legacy locked in. If today's episode gave you game, make sure you rate, review, and share it with someone.
Hey, follow us on all platforms and keep the conversation going, guys. DM us your questions, your myths, and your money wins.
Until next time, think deeper, move smarter, and keep building.
This is the 7 Cents Podcast. We out.